The rain hammered against the windows of the old Victorian house, each drop like a drumbeat in the silence. Lily, a lanky 17-year-old with thick-rimmed glasses perched on her nose, snuggled deeper into the armchair. A dog-eared copy of Jane Eyre lay open on her lap, the words blurring as her eyelids grew heavy. Lily preferred her own company to the awkwardness of social gatherings. She found solace in the worn spines of her books and the familiar silence of her home. Her parents were away for the weekend, leaving her to the quiet company of her imagination and the rhythmic patter of the rain. It was a Friday night, and a sense of peace settled over Lily. The grandfather clock in the hallway chimed 11 times, its low gong resonating through the empty rooms. Closing her book, Lily decided to call it a night. Upstairs, in the sanctuary of her room, Lily slipped under the covers, the chill of the October air seeping in through the window cracks. She drifted off to sleep, lulled by the soothing rhythm of the rain, unaware that the night was far from over. A sharp, insistent buzzing jolted Lily awake. Disoriented, her heart hammering, she fumbled for her phone on the nightstand. 2:11 a.m. The doorbell pierced the silence again, echoing through the empty house. Lily's breath caught in her throat. Who could be at the door at this ungodly hour? Her parents wouldn't be back until Sunday. Fear gnawed at her as she remembered the recent string of break-ins reported in their quiet Massachusetts suburb. Lily's mind raced. She was alone, vulnerable. She crept out of bed and tiptoed to the window, peering through the rain-streaked glass. The streetlights cast long, eerie shadows, but there was no sign of any car or person in sight. Lily's gaze fell on the blinking red light of their Ring camera, mounted next to the front door. Relief washed over her. At least she could see who was outside. But as she opened the app on her phone, her blood ran cold. The camera feed was dead. Lily's pulse quickened. The dead camera, the deserted street. Something felt terribly wrong. The doorbell rang again, more insistent this time, sending shivers down her spine. Lily pressed her back against the wall, her mind a whirlwind of terrifying possibilities. A sudden thump from downstairs shattered the silence. Lily froze, her breath catching in her throat. It sounded like someone was moving around in the living room. Fear choked her, urging her to run and hide. She tiptoed towards her bedroom door, her hand trembling as she reached for the doorknob. As she slowly opened the door, a floorboard creaked beneath her feet, the sound unnaturally loud in the stillness of the house. Lily held her breath, straining to listen for any other sound. Was that a whisper she heard, or just the wind howling through the eaves? Her eyes darted around the room, shadows dancing in the dim light filtering in from the streetlights outside. Lily's phone slipped from her grasp, clattering on the wooden floor. She stared at the screen, her heart pounding against her ribs. Dad flashed across the caller ID. But that was impossible. Her father had passed away 3 years ago. A cold dread washed over her. Trembling, she picked up the phone, her finger hovering over the answer button. What if it was him? What if he was trying to reach her from beyond the grave? The ringing stopped, leaving behind an eerie silence. Lily exhaled slowly, her chest tight with a mixture of fear and confusion. She convinced herself it was just a prank call, a cruel joke. But deep down, a chilling thought lingered. What if it wasn't? As Lily tried to calm her racing heart, another sound, faint but unmistakable, sent a fresh wave of terror through her. Someone was knocking on her bedroom window. Panic seized Lily. She scrambled back, her eyes wide with terror, her gaze fixed on the window. The knocking continued, persistent, rhythmic. It was a desperate plea for help, but something about it felt sinister. Lily's hand trembled as she reached for her phone. Her finger hovered over the emergency call button. Should she call for help? What if it was all a misunderstanding? What if she sounded crazy? But the relentless knocking on the window, the eerie phone call, the dead security camera, it all pointed to something sinister. This was no prank. Lily knew she couldn't ignore it any longer. With trembling fingers, Lily finally pressed the call button. 911, what's your emergency? A calm voice answered. Lily took a deep breath, her voice shaking as she whispered, I think someone's in my house. The rest of the night passed in a blur of flashing lights and hushed voices. 2 police officers arrived within minutes of Lily's call, their faces grim as they surveyed the scene. They checked the entire house, every nook and cranny, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. The officers found no signs of forced entry, no trace of any intruder. The doors were bolted, the windows locked. It was as if whoever, or whatever, had terrorized Lily had vanished into thin air. Lily sat huddled on the living room sofa, wrapped in a blanket, as the first rays of dawn peeked through the curtains. Exhaustion tugged at her eyelids, but the events of the night played on a loop in her mind. One of the officers, a kind-faced woman with graying hair, offered Lily a reassuring smile. It seems like a bad prank, honey, she said gently. But don't worry, we'll keep an eye on the neighborhood. As the police officers prepared to leave, one of them stopped at the front door, his brow furrowed. Did you say your Ring camera wasn't working? He asked, turning back to Lily. Lily nodded, her stomach clenching as he pointed to a muddy footprint on the welcome mat, just below the camera. It wasn't there before. And then the officer revealed a discovery that sent a chill down Lily's spine. Tucked beneath the doormat was a folded piece of paper. It was a child's drawing of a stick figure standing on a doorstep, a menacing grin on its face. Scrawled across the top in childish handwriting were 3 chilling words. Don't answer it. The police never found any explanation for the events of that night. But every year, without fail, on October 13th, at precisely 2:11 a.m., the old doorbell of the Victorian house would ring, its shrill sound a chilling reminder of the terror that had visited Lily and never truly left.